This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, sir. Good morning, students. I'm audible to you. Anyone? I'm audible to you, students. Good morning, everyone. Students, I'm audible to you. You respond out వాళ్ళకి వినపట్లేదా? Good morning, everyone.
Hello.
Students, I'm audible to you. I'm audible to you or not?
Sir, వినిపిస్తుంది సార్, నేను రాజేష్ సార్, వినిపిస్తుంది సార్.
మీరు చెప్పింది వినపడుతుంది.
ఎస్ సార్, మీరు చెప్పింది కూడా వినిపిస్తుంది సార్, వాళ్ళు ఎవరు రెస్పాండ్ అవ్వట్లేదు సార్.
Okay. So anyone of you, please reply to answer me. I'm audible to you or not? Students.
Yes, sir. Audible, sir.
Okay. Thank you. So today we are going to discuss about the 10 more spots we will discuss. Simple. We have to copy this and I will explain the main points, whatever they are asked in the spotters only. Okay. It is not a topic. So these are the spotters. You have to copy this. First of all, you have to remember these spotters will be kept in the practical examination as a spotter. So we will give the rope and you have to write about this. Please first identify the weapon or the specimen, and we will ask some questions and you have to answer to that questions only. Now we will get this. This is the rope. Rope is the type of the weapon, pattern and a twisted nylon rope. So first of all, you have to identify the spotter, that is it is the pattern and twisted nylon rope. You have to write answer this. What type of weapon is this? It is a blunt weapon only and it is flexible. So what are the criminal use or medical legal significance in this is it may be used for the strangulation and hanging and garroting and autoerotic asphyxia. See, in this typical term autoerotic asphyxia, already we will the sexual asphyxia antam. We already discussed in the asphyxial topic the way the perverted people they are used this rope as an to get the sexual gratification. This is autoerotic asphyxia or sexual asphyxia antam, isn't it? So the criminal uses are for the strangulation, hanging, garroting and autoerotic asphyxia. You have to refer this asphyxial topic, already we discussed about it. So whenever the rope used as a strangulation or hanging, so there is a chance of the ligature mark over the neck, isn't it? So how to description of the strangulation mark ela untundi, hanging mark ela untundi, you have to discuss. We already discussed in the that means asphyxial topic. So come to the ligature mark. It is the type of the pattern abrasion. It will form the type of the pattern abrasion or pressure abrasion over the neck or whenever it is used as a strangulation or hanging. Ligature mark is an antemortem ligature mark ఎలా ఉంటుంది, post mortem ligature mark ఎలా ఉంటుంది. So whenever it is used as a strangulation, the mark will be around the neck. It is a circular. So behind this there is a ligature mark. Is it? You have to describe the ligature mark. Under the ligature mark, whenever you open the ligature mark, there is a chance of the parchmentization. Parchmentation means it is a pressure applied over the skin. It may have the depression, depressed over the skin. On either side there is a hemorrhagic spots. So if you open the skin, the subcutaneous tissue, it is looking like the pale and white and that means glistening, and it is depressed. So these are the changes. You can call it as the parchmentization. So these are the vital reaction. But antemortem mark parchmentation is there, but in case of the postmortem hanging, there is no chance of the parchmentization. That means the depression, that vital reactions. So you have to, first of all, this is the top subject. No, I don't leave it. But you have to identify the rope. It is a rope. It is a twisted nylon rope, and it is a medical significance. It is used in the strangulation, hanging, garrotic, and autoerotic asphyxia. So it may cause the what type of the injuries caused by this weapon. That is a pattern abrasion or pressure abrasion. There is a chance of this by the nylon rope. Okay, this is the first spotter. Next, second one, that is a iron rod. The type of weapon, it is iron rod. You can descriptionize it. It's a long, blunt, moderately heavy pattern metallic weapon. So you have to describe like this. What is this? What type of the weapon this? This is the question is there. So you have to write it is a blunt, moderately heavy pattern metallic weapon. Pattern metallic weapon, isn't it? So what type of the injuries will be caused by this is a pattern abrasion. When you beat with this, it may cause the pattern abrasion or impact abrasion, and maybe it may cause the pattern contusions and lacerations and fractures. If you beat hardly, it may cause fractures also, isn't it? Lacerated stab wound. Whenever you stab with this pointed end of this rod, it may cause the lacerated stab wound. All of you know the definitions of the abrasions and contusions and stab wound. So depth of the wound will be more compared with the remaining parameters in case of the stab wound, isn't it? So the injuries caused by this metallic weapon will be pattern abrasion when you are beat with this, pattern contusion and laceration, fractures when you the pointed end will may cause the stab wounds, lacerated stab wounds. Nature of the weapon is dangerous. So dangerous weapon is under section 326 IPC. The definition of the dangerous weapon, any weapon metallic or whatever it may be, anything which may be used in the pattern legally, illegally, or accidentally, it may cause the death of an individual, may cause this. You can call it as the dangerous weapon under section IPC 326. You have to remember section IPC 326 is a definition of the dangerous weapon. So this is the dangerous one of the weapon. So come to the medical legal significance is it may be accidental or homicidal, and suicide is very rare. Accidental, whenever the person, the people are fall from the height or from the apartment constructed building, they may fall on these rods, may cause the stab wounds and all other remaining injuries. That is an accidental. So this is the iron rod, metallic, moderately heavy pattern metallic weapon. You have to describing like this types of injuries. This is the second one. And come to the third spotter. This is the rod, that is a stones, or otherwise called it the lowry. So stone. So it is a type of weapons, the moderately heavy weapon and fairly smooth, and some stones will be rough and moderately pointed stones. So pointed ends good or neither. So type of injuries caused by this when you beat with this stone or lorry. So it depends upon the contact matter. So blunt surface, if you contact, it may cause the blunt injuries, or the pointed end of the may cause the pointed edges. It may cause abrasions, contusions, and fractures. Fractures may be depressed and comminuted. So depressed fracture will give the print of the weapon caused it is. Isn't it? Striking surface తక్కువ ఉన్నప్పుడు it may cause the depression fracture, or comminuted fracture means it is a type of the depressed fracture, but the all the that means parts of the fracture will be displaced, or fractured fragments will be displayed into the brain matter also. So these are the depressed and comminuted fractures may be caused by this stone. So what is the type of weapon? This is also a dangerous weapon under section 326 IPC. And for example, when you applied on the head by this, it can cause a fracture of the skull. It may be a depression fracture or comminuted fracture. And contusions, lacerations on the scalp, isn't it? And intracranial. So if you beat with a hard, it may cause a comminuted fracture. The skull fragments will be displayed into the brain matter and may lead to the intracranial hemorrhages and contusions and lacerations of the brain and concussion of the brain. So these are all the injuries caused by this stone, and it will be a dangerous weapon section under 326 IPC, isn't it? Okay, next come to the fourth, paperweight. You can identify it as a moderately heavy glass made blunt weapon. You have to describe it like this: a smooth dome shaped moderately heavy glass made blunt weapon. You have to give this description of the paperweight is a smooth dome shaped moderately heavy glass made blunt weapon. And what are the types of injuries caused by it? Is the blunt weapon definitely blunt injuries like contusions, split lacerations, and fractures. So already we discussed this. If you hardly beat with this paperweight, it may cause a depressed fracture, and will give the print of the this paperweight depressed fracture, signature fracture or depressed fracture. So what are the nature of the injuries? And is the assault is the more common, and accidental is rare, and homicidal is unusual. Suicide in case of the insane person, he may be beaten with he himself with the paperweight may cause the injuries also. Okay, and the nature of the weapon is also danger when it causes a depressed fracture into the brain, and he may be dying. That's why the weapon will also, it is also a dangerous weapon. So this is the paperweight, a smooth dome shaped moderately heavy glass made blunt weapon. Description you have to by heart this, and you have to this. This is the paperweight. Now come to the fifth one. You have to see this. That means the whip hunter. Sorry, whip. That is the spelling mistake. That is whip. WHIP whip. The type of the weapon: long, pliable, pattern, tapering, leather made weapons. That is the glass made weapon. That is the paperweight. This is the leather made weapon, blunt weapon. This is the long, pliable, pattern, tapering, leather made weapon. So that is the whip, WHIP. And the type of injuries caused by this weapon is, so you have to identify the specimen, that is the whip, and it is a pattern contusions. It will cause the pattern contusions. The parallel tram-like appearance of the pattern abrasions will be possible. It is a tram-like appearance. So pattern contusions, pattern abrasions are possible with this, and it is flexible. That's why it will be surround the body. When you beaten with this whip, it may be surrounds the body of the victim and form the tram-like appearance of the contusion or abrasions. Nature of the weapon will be dangerous when it is used in as a homicidal. That means they may be used to constrict the neck as a strangulation. Use చేస్తారు whipping. So it is the dangerous weapon అవుతుంది. So most probably homicidal in nature or assault, and suicide is very rare, and accidental it is uncommon, and the people who are in a sexual deviations may be used it as the some type of sexual perversions, or they may be suicided he himself. So difference between the tram track contusions caused by this is, so tram track contusions caused by the rigid weapons like stick or rod. Tram track contusion and abrasions also formed by this whip also. So both tram track line type of the abrasions or contusion formed by this rigid weapon like Lathi or rod, and at the same flexible weapon like this leather made weapon, that is whip also. So what is the difference between these is, so whip follows the body contour since it is a pliable or flexible. So when you are beat with the whip, it may form the tram track around the body. Why? Because it is a flexible, it will be surround the body, contour of the body. But Lathi or rod does not follow the body contour since it is the rigid. The only difference between these are this is the, and it may cause tram track contusions both the whip as well as the Lathi. So you have to remember it is a long, pliable, pattern tapering leather made weapon, isn't it? Next, come to the sixth. And type of weapon is, it is a smooth cylindrical cane with the 8 segmented ridges blunt weapon. That is a Lathi. You can see the police people they are using generally are, but it is smooth long cylindrical cane with the 8 segmented ridges, a blunt weapon. What are the type of injuries caused by this Lathi or this blunt weapon? So contusions are when you are beat with this, the police people beat with this Lathi, where the victim or people, they may cause the parallel tram track like contusions, abrasions, and split lacerations and fractures. When you beat hardly, it may cause the split laceration as well as the fractures also. So already we discussed what is the tram track like contusions formed by both the whip as well as the Lathi, but it follows the body contours. It will not follow the body contours. So tram track appearance of the contusions will be there. See, nature of the injuries, assault is the common one and homicide is rare. The nature of the weapon is dangerous. When it is used hard, it may cause the fracture of the bones. And the difference between the tram track contusions caused by this are whip as well as the leg. So whip follows the body contour since it is a pliable, and Lathi will not follow the body contour since it is a rigid. So tram track appearance of the contusions and abrasions may be formed by the Lathi as well as the whip. You have to remember. Okay, is the Lathi. Next, seventh one, that is the cricket ball. So remember, you have to find out this is the photograph of the cricket ball. All of you know it is a smooth, circular, moderately heavy cork made with a pattern leather object. So description compulsory మీరు రాయాల్సిందే. In the practical examination as a spotter, you have to describe it, identify the specimen, and you have to write what is it. So it is a smooth, circular, moderately heavy cork made with the pattern leather object. So whenever you beat or if you use it in the as a part of the game, when you are bowling, it may hit the batsman. So what are the types of injuries may be caused, or if you beat it as a assault also. So most probably this injury is caused in a game, the cricket. When you are playing and you are bowling, it may be hit the batsman, may cause the injuries, and at the same time you will be used in the assault also. So type of injuries caused by this cricket ball or cork ball is contusions, that is a pattern contusions, and it will be give the imprint of the ball over the wherever it strike the body of the individual. So it may cause the fractures, split laceration, and lacerations. Okay, these are the injuries caused by the cork ball made with a pattern leather object, isn't it? What are the nature of the injuries? Assault is uncommon. In generally, accidental injuries may be caused while you are playing cricket during the bowling. The nature of weapon is sometimes maybe it hits the sensitive parts, may cause the death of an individual. That's why it is also a dangerous weapon. So cricket balls. Next, eighth, it is a cycle chain. The type of the weapon, that is a flexible pattern metallic chains. So it is the flexible, so it will be follow the contours of the body and pattern metallic chain, isn't it? So what are the types of injuries caused by this metallic chain? You have to write it, the metallic chain or the pattern abrasions. So it will be imprint the pattern of the chain over the face or whenever wherever it is contact with the human body. So pattern contusions and lacerations and fractures. So you have to remember what is the abrasion, what is the contusion. You have to remember the definition of the all the terms, injuries, abrasions, blunt injuries, sharp injuries, like that. So pattern contusions, laceration, and fractures. The nature of the injuries, homicide is common generally and may be useful for used in the as a strangulation. It will be the flexible. That's why it may be tied around the neck and may cause the strangulation and assault injuries. And suicide is rare and accident is uncommon. So nature of the weapon is it is also a dangerous one, the cycle chain. Next, come to the cricket bat. It is the ninth spotter. You have to describe it first. Identify the weapon. What is this? The smooth, long, one surface is flat and another surface is wedge shaped. It is a smooth, long, one surface is flat and another surface is wedge shaped, moderately heavy blunt weapon device with a round handle. So you have to describe the cricket bat as a smooth, long, and one surface flat, another surface is wedge shaped and moderately heavy blunt weapon or wooden device with the round handle. So what are the types of injuries caused by this? So the accidental injuries possibility are there, but assault is more common in this. While playing, there is a struggle or quarrel between the two groups. They may cause the that means assault, or maybe as a part of the assault, the criminals also they are using this weapon. And the types of injuries caused by this is contusions, fractures, and laceration. This is the blunt weapon may cause these contusions and fractures and laceration. So type of weapon is dangerous. Whenever beat with this bat on the head, it may cause the fracture of the skull bones and may lead to the head injury. That means intracranial hemorrhage and death of the individual. So it is also a dangerous weapon under section 326 IPC. And nature of the injuries is the assault is common and homicide is not common, accidental uncommon, and suicide is rare. And this is the you have to remember the description of the weapon first. Smooth, long, one surface is flat and another surface is wedge shaped and moderately heavy blunt wooden device with round handle, isn't it? So next come to the hammer. So all of you choose this is the moderately heavy blunt weapon. Moderately heavy blunt weapon. It is a metal is there. It is attached with the wooden stick. So it is a metallic weapon or device which is attached to the wooden stick. What are the types of injuries caused by this? Are contusions, laceration, and fracture and signature fracture. So the striking surface is less. Whenever strike with this hammer on the skull, it may cause this depressed fracture and imprint the print of that weapon. So it is also called as a signature fracture caused by this hammer. And significance of the signature fracture is types of depressed fractures will be possible easy and suggest the type of the weapon used. So it is imprints that type of the weapon and the size of the fracture you can correspond with the weapon and with the diameter of the contact surface of the weapon. So significance of the signature fracture. So nature of the weapon is dangerous. Definitely it is under section 326 IPC. And other medical legal significances can suggest the relative position of the assailant and the victim, isn't it? So that is the hammer. And come to the axe. This is the axe. A type of the weapon is heavy cutting weapon with a sharp edges. It is the heavy cutting weapon with a sharp edges. It is a metallic device attached to the wooden stick here, and heavy cutting weapon with the sharp edges on the blunt edge undi and sharp edge ఉంటుంది. So whenever hit with the sharp edge may cause the chop wounds and fractures. And at the same time with the blunt edge also it may cause the fractures possible in the and chop wounds and hurt. So you have to see what type of the chop wounds and what is the definition of the chop wound you have to remember. And fracture the chop wound are deep gaping wound with a sharp margins. Deep gaping wound with a sharp margin. This is the sharp weapon. Sharp edge is sharp weapon, but blunt edge kuda untundi. Abrasions, contusions around the wound may be possibility because it is the heavy cutting weapon. There is a chance of the abrasions, contusion around the main wound. So medical legal significance is suicide is very rare, but homicide is a common one and accidental is not common. A dimension of the wound correspond to the cross section of the weapon. This is the very important. and the dimension of the wound correspond to the cross section of the weapon. It is also one of the dangerous weapon, that is a 326 IPC. It is a heavy cutting weapon with a sharp edges. Chop wounds and fractures are common. And last one we have discussed, this is the chopper. Chopper మొదటగా తినడం చూస్తుంటారు ఇళ్ళలో ఉంటుంది, అండ్ ఆర్ బుచర్స్ నైఫ్ అంటారు, బుచర్స్ నైఫ్ మటన్ షాప్స్ లో ఎక్కువ యూజ్ చేస్తున్నారు. దిట్ ఇస్ ద టైప్ ఆఫ్ ద వెపన్. ఇట్ ఇస్ ద moderately heavy cutting weapon with a sharp edges more, and the same thing, that is it may cause these chop wounds and as well as the fracture of the maybe whatever fractures and chop wounds are more possible, and it is a dangerous weapon, chopper. With this, today's spotters are the spotters are chopper, the one, and axe and hammer and cricket bat and cycle chain and cricket bat ball and the lathi and whip and the paperweight and stone and iron rod, and the first one, that is the rope. These are the 12 spotters. We are finished for this class. Next class we will finish the another type of 10 spotters and weapons. Next class we will finish that. So today we finished this, and I can leave all of you. Thank you all.